If I would have making music, number one, I would have been playing baseball. You know what I'm saying? I grew up, you know, that was my dream since I was a kid. You know, since I was 4 years old. You know, my dream was to be on the major leagues. You know, playing baseball. I was gonna get signed, but unfortunately, I had a situation. I got shot in the barrio, and when I was 17 years old, and that was the end for me as a baseball player. So that's when music became a priority for me. You know, that's the reason that I'm making music. But before that, you know, baseball was everything for me. Cartel Records is the name of my label. Last year was the biggest label in the Latin market. You know, just with one artist, which is Yankee. You know, when I read the Billboard magazine, I saw, the best label in the Latin market, the best independent label is the Cartel Records. Right now, I signed one kid that his name is Miguelito, and he's doing real big in the Latin market. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my artists, and right now we're developing new artists. We're developing new artists under my label, so you'll see them in the future. Let's talk about the performance, man. When you are performing, is the best thing after you make an album, because there's the people reaction. There's the people are feeding you on stage. You know, that energy is feeding you. You need that energy to keep going in your performance. So that's the most part that I enjoy in this business. You know, is the shows, the concerts. You know, I love to perform, and that's why all that Yankee shows are packed. You know, because when it comes to shows, I love to give them a great show. You know, an experience. I don't do shows just by doing shows. You know, I gotta do something special. So every time Yankee's in a concert, something special gonna happen. So the people knows that, you know, and they not wasting their money. They just, you know, investing their money. And with that in mind, I always, put a great show on stage. In the $2 bill concert in New York, I was surprised by a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? I was amazed by a lot of things, because number one, I was just walking in the street, and all of a sudden was a riot. That's Daddy Yankee right there in New York. Wow, all my Latinos showing me love in the Bronx, because I used to live in the Bronx too. You know what I'm saying? It was like crazy, because I was in a restaurant eating, the same restaurant that I was eating all the time before I got this this level. So all of a sudden I was eating in the same restaurant, then the street was packed. And for me, that was like, whoa, wow. 2 years ago, I was eating here, and nothing was happening. And right now, it's a big riot over there, with no promotion and anything. And that's when you say, okay, I must be doing something good for the people. But the song that I most, that I really enjoyed on stage was when I was singing Corazones, and Minnie Benari, she came on stage, and she started playing the violin. Wow, that was a big moment in the show. The people were still talking about that, in the street. When I put out the concert, everybody was like, yo, that part was great. And that Corazones, by that song I won a couple of awards, like Best Lyricist of the Year, because of that song. Because in Spanish, it's a deep song. If you can translate, those words into English. It's a deep song. I fell in love with music when I was a kid. I was in a talent show in my school, and I was imitating Rafael and